You keep looking at other people like they're the enemy. You keep scrolling, comparing, analyzing, envying, wasting your damn time watching someone else's highlight reel instead of building your own. And here's the cold reality you don't want to swallow. They're not your competition. They never were. They never will be. Your REL opponent, the only enemy that matters. The one you've been running from. Yesterday's you, yeah. That version of you who hit the snooze button, that version who skipped the workout, that version who said, I'll start tomorrow, that version who knew EXACTL, what needed to be done and still didn't do it. That's who you're fighting. Not the influencer with the perfect camera lighting. Not the dude deadlifting 5 plates on Instagram. Not the shredded guy walking past you at the gym. The fight is internal. The battlefield is your mind, and every single day you either win or you lose. You want success, you want discipline, you want respect, you want results. Stop hunting ghosts. Stop chasing distractions. Stop obsessing over what everybody else is doing. Lock in. Look. Face the one opponent who actually matters. Because this version right here, if you don't beat the version of yourself from yesterday, you'll never beat anybody. Not in the gym, not in life, not anywhere. Today is the rematch. And this time, you don't walk away. You don't negotiate. You don't break. You don't quit. You win. TCHEMINTHEMIROR. Let me make this brutally clear every morning. When you wake up and walk to that mirror, you're not just checking yourself. You're confronting the opponent, the rival, the challenger. Look at that reflection. That person has beaten you more times than anyone else ever has. They've talked you out of workouts. They've convinced you to be lazy. They've distracted you, sabotaged you, comforted you with excuses. And you listened. You let the enemy win. And that's the part that stings, isn't it? Because it wasn't someone stronger. It wasn't someone smarter. It wasn't someone more talented. It was you. The YOU who doesn't want to suffer. The YOU who doesn't want to grind. The YOU who loves comfort more than progress. Stop pretending you're powerless. Stop pretending everything is out of your control. That's weakness talking. You know exactly what you should be doing, but knowing isn't enough. You've known for years. You've known every single time you said, tomorrow. Every time you said, I'll get serious next week. You don't need more knowledge. You need discipline. You need confrontation. You need honesty. So let's be honest. You've been losing to yourself. But here's the good news. The best news. You can end that losing streak right now. This second, beat yesterday's you. That's the mission. That's the standard. That's the war. TBTFEI is my SBYL Fiude. People love to say they're not ready. They love to pretend life has some special, perfectly aligned moment where everything finally clicks. Let me tell you something uncomfortable. There is no perfect moment. There is only right now. And right now is ugly, chaotic, inconvenient, and exactly what you need. This fight against yesterday's you. It's not fought on a clean battlefield. It's fought in the dirt. At 4:30 a.m. when you don't want to get up. After a long day when your brain tells you you've done enough. In the moments where quitting sounds logical, reasonable, even justified, that's where the battle is. You want discipline. Stop waiting for clarity. You want progress. Stop waiting for motivation. Motivation is inconsistent. It fades. It dies. It's emotional, and emotions will betray you. Discipline won't. Discipline is cold, unfeeling, relentless, and that's exactly why it works. Most people lose because they try to fight with emotion. They want that fire, that inspiration, that burst of energy that makes everything easy. But fire burns out. Steel doesn't. You don't build a stronger version of yourself by chasing sparks. You build it by hammering the blade every single day, whether you feel like it or not. Yesterday's you. He's counting on you to be weak again today. He's hoping you'll default to comfort. He's expecting you to fold. Good. Let him expect. Let him underestimate you. Let him believe you'll crumble like you did before. Then prove him wrong, silently, ruthlessly, relentlessly. The battlefield isn't found, it's constructed. Brick by brick, choice by choice, rep by rep. Beat yesterday's you by doing what he refused to do. Get up earlier, work harder, think sharper, execute better, push farther, every day, non-negotiable. Because that's how warriors are made. And you either step into that identity or you stay exactly where you are, slowly eroding, drifting, decaying into nothing. Pick the battlefield, pick the fight, pick the standard and raise it daily. Let's get brutally honest. You love the idea of progress, but you hate the reality of consistency. You want big results fast. You want transformation without the grind. You want discipline without the sacrifice. That's fantasy. That's weakness disguised as ambition. Progress is not a miracle. Progress is math, and every day the scoreboard resets to 0. Not weekly, not monthly, not when you feel ready, every single day. Here's the truth nobody wants to hear. You don't deserve progress just because you want it. You only deserve it if you EAR it today. And here's how you track whether you're winning or losing. Look at your actions, not your intentions. Your execution, not your excuses. Did you wake up when you promised you would, or did you hit snooze again? Did you train today, or did you save it for later and never go? Did you stick to the plan, or did you negotiate with your weakness? The scoreboard doesn't care about your feelings. It doesn't care about your bad day. It doesn't care about your story. It only cares about one thing. Did you beat yesterday's you or not? Yes or no? Win or lose? No middle ground. You want to know why most people stay stuck? Because they refuse to evaluate themselves. They refuse to measure their own habits. They refuse to track their own discipline. They live blind. But you don't get to be blind anymore. You want to break the cycle. Then build the scoreboard. Write it down. Track the reps. Track the meals. Track the wake up times. Track the discipline. And don't lie to yourself. Don't sugarcoat. Don't pretend. Because every day you hide from the truth. Yesterday's you wins again. And the longer he wins, the stronger he gets. He starts to become the dominant version of you, the default, the identity. That should terrify you. Because if you let yesterday's version win long enough, you become him. Forever. You want to escape that outcome. Then score the day. Score the effort. Score the discipline. And don't stop until the scoreboard reads of I and toe to I. Not because it was easy, not because you felt motivated, but because you executed, because you refused to let the same weak patterns run your life again. That is how you destroy the old version. That is how you build the new one. Not in theory, not in fantasy, but in cold, repeatable, merciless discipline. Teachy pay and of ardo th or teas pay I and of right. Here's something you already know, but keep pretending you don't. You are going to experience pain either way. There is no path in life that is painless, but there are two kinds of pain, and you better choose wisely. The pain of growth or the pain of regret. The pain of growth. It's sharp. It's heavy. It's exhausting. It's waking up early. Dragging yourself to the workout. Staying disciplined when you don't want it. Pushing through when your body screams estiop. Sitting in the discomfort. Not running. Not hiding. It's brutal. But it's worth it. Because every rep of that pain builds something. Strength. Skill. Character. Discipline. Identity. But regret is a different beast. A darker one, a slower one, and once it sinks its teeth in, it doesn't let go. Regret whispers at night. It reminds you of the opportunities you abandoned, the potential you wasted, the goals you talked about but never chased, the promises you made but never kept. Regret is quiet until it's not. Then one day it screams and you have no answer. Because deep down, you know the truth. You could have done more. You could have been more. You could have built the life you wanted, but you chose comfort instead. So here's the question you must face. What pain are you choosing? Because one of them leads to strength, pride, and progress, and the other leads to bitterness, disappointment, and self-destruction. Yesterday's you wants you to take the easy pain, the pain of regret. He wants you to procrastinate, to avoid effort, to delay action. He wants you weak. Don't give him that power. Choose the pain that builds you. Choose the path that hurts now, so you don't suffer for decades. Choose the struggle that forges you into someone you respect. Because if you don't respect yourself, what else do you have? Everybody loves to talk about results. They love the before and after photos, the success stories, the highlight moments, but nobody sees the version of you that matters most, the version of you when nobody is watching. That's the version that defines everything. Because anybody can look disciplined for 60 seconds on camera. Anybody can preach motivation online. Anybody can put up a dramatic quote and pretend they live by it. But who are you at 4 a.m. when the alarm hits? Who are you when the gym is empty? Who are you when you're tired, irritated, sore, and life is punching you in the face? Who are you in the dark? That's the real you. That's the version yesterday's you fears the most. because he knows he can't compete with that person. The version who shows up when it's inconvenient, the version who trains when no one will clap, the version who executes without cameras, applause, or validation. The version who does the work because it's the work, not the attention. You want real growth, build, teach that version. The one nobody sees, the one nobody applauds, the one nobody celebrates. That version is dangerous, untouchable, unshakable. Because discipline that depends on attention is fake. But discipline built in silence, that's real, that's permanent, that's lethal. And here's the twist: most people never understand the stronger your private discipline gets, the weaker yesterday's you becomes. He can't keep up. He can't match that consistency. He can't stop that momentum, because silent discipline is the purest, most unstoppable force on the planet. You want to beat yesterday's you. Do the work when nobody knows, nobody asks, nobody praises, nobody cares. Make your success inevitable because you built it in the shadows long before anyone ever saw the light. Teach each coast, oh, I've become dumb and IBLE. People want greatness until they see the bill. They want discipline until they see the sacrifice. They want transformation until they realize what it costs to actually change. You say you want a stronger version of yourself. Good. Then understand something right now. There is a price every single day, and you pay it in full. You think yesterday's you is going to step aside. You think he's just going to hand you progress. Not a chance. Yesterday's you is a parasite, a leech, a weak shadow that clings to your ankles every time you try to rise. He wants to keep you exactly where you are because he is terrified of what happens if you finally outgrow him. If you want to beat him, you need to become something he can't match, undeniable. Not kind of disciplined, not sometimes motivated, not on and off, undeniable. That means you show up on the good days, the bad days, the ugly days, the painful days, the long days, the chaotic days, the I don't have it in me days. Because discipline doesn't negotiate, and discipline doesn't wait for you to feel like it. Becoming undeniable means you build such strong habits, such consistent execution, such relentless forward pressure that yesterday's you becomes irrelevant, outpaced, outworked, overwhelmed. It means you walk into a room different. People can feel it, not because you brag, but because consistency builds presence, and presence makes people notice. Becoming undeniable isn't about proving anything to anyone else. It's about proving to yourself over and over that you don't break. And when you become that person, yesterday's you doesn't stand a chance. But here's the catch. Being undeniable costs everything your weaker self thinks is comfort. And that's exactly why most people never become it. They're not willing to pay full price. You are. Start now, not tomorrow, not later, not when things calm down. Now. This part will sting, and it should, because the deepest reason you've kept losing to yesterday's you is simple. You've been lying to yourself. You said you'd start Monday. You didn't. You said you'd stay consistent this time. You didn't. You said you'd stop making excuses, but when the pressure hit, you folded. Be honest, not with me, with yourself. How many times have you made promises you never kept? How many times have you talked big but acted small? How many times have you told yourself you'd change and then fell right back into the same pattern? That's the real enemy, not the world, not the competition, not your circumstances, the lies. So here's the line you must draw. This is the day you stop lying to yourself. This is the day you admit that discipline isn't some mystery. It's just something you refused to practice. This is the day you admit the results you want have been available the entire time, but you never stuck around long enough to earn them. This is the day you admit that yesterday's you won because you let him. Go that honesty. That's power. Because when you stop lying, you stop hiding. When you stop hiding, you face the truth. And when you face the truth, you can finally change. This is the moment, right here, where the battle turns, where the momentum shifts, where you stop being the same recycled version of who you've been for years. This is the moment the old version loses his grip. This is where the new version takes over. This is where the shift becomes real. You want to beat yesterday's you, then kill the lies. Stand on truth, stand on discipline, stand on action, stand on execution. Because once you stop lying to yourself, you become unstoppable. This is it. The moment everything comes down to, not the past, not the future, not someday, not later, now. Because every day is the same battle you. Today vs yesterday, reality vs excuses. And here's the truth you've avoided long enough. No enemy is harder to defeat than the one wearing your face. He knows everything, your weaknesses, your patterns, your escape routes, your soft spots. He's beaten you before, and he expects to beat you again. But today, he's in for a surprise, because today you walk indifferent. Today you show up with intention. Today you stop pretending and start executing. Today your actions speak louder than your desires. Today you don't negotiate with weakness. Today you don't ask for permission. Today you don't hope you do. Understand this: yesterday's you has one job: to survive. Your job is simpler. Eliminate him, not with talk, not with hype, not with half effort. With discipline, cold, consistent, daily, relentless. You beat him when you wake up on time. You beat him when you train harder than he ever would. You beat him when you honor your word. You beat him when you stop repeating the same mistakes he made. You beat him when you refuse to quit. This isn't about perfection. It's about direction. Forward. Always forward. When you string together enough days like that, days where you win, where you act, where you execute, where you push, where you fight, the old version of you falls apart. He can't keep up. He can't compete with consistency. He can't survive discipline. And that's when transformation becomes real. Not in the mirror, not online, not in some dramatic montage, but in you, in your decisions, your patterns, your identity. This is the rematch, and it happens every single morning. The question you must wake up with: will I beat yesterday's me today? The question you must go to bed with: did I? The answer you choose consistently determines everything. So here is your call to action. Start now, not in an hour, not tomorrow. Now, get up, get focused, get moving, get disciplined. Because the only real enemy is the weaker version of yourself, and he's terrified you're finally becoming the person who can destroy him. And the final truth, the one that will define your life: you don't need to be better than anyone else. You just need to be better than who you were yesterday, every day. Now go earn it. No excuses, no hesitation, no retreat. Win today, win tomorrow, win always. Your only competition is yesterday's you. Stand up, step forward, and beat the version of you that never believed you could.